Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Planet Coaster, and today I will be working on the second coaster station, so that is pretty exciting. First though, I wanted to make some kind of city fences, something with ironworks, and we don't have a lot of that in the game yet, so I decided to use these lanterns for that because they have the little curly details on them, which you often see in ironworks, and I really like that style. So because I will use the lanterns for that, the fences will be lit, which is a little bit weird, but at the same time it looks kind of cool. So I did do some things off screen. I changed details on a few houses and also the roof on the house that still had a yellowish roof that is in the game. Since I use so much of the wooden style roofs, it just looked weird so I decided to change that. And as you could see very briefly, I laid out some paths. I was figuring out the layout of this part of the park and it took me some time to get it right. At first, like I mentioned in the last episode, I thought I wanted to use the roof tiles for this because then I could just lay out the paths on top of it and it would have been easier just to roll with it and see what happens. But it didn't feel right to do it like that and it wouldn't look right either. So I took some time to see what I could come up with to make it look how I imagine it in my head so that everything will connect in a way. Also, I really feel like I should put in some more houses, I think, and I might do that off screen. Oh, it's getting dark now, so you can see how the fences are lit, and it does look pretty cool. I'm kind of satisfied with that. It's something else. But yeah, I will put in some more houses off screen probably, because I don't want to just make the same kind of episodes over and over again, and I feel like you guys have seen by now how I build houses, and I just really feel like I should spare you the trouble of watching the same kind of thing over and over again. And it's way more fun just to see the park progress and how it looks as a whole. So I will of course show you guys what I've done in a real-time part. So this is a little bit of a weird skip. Normally I show you how I start and just go for it, but this time I had a lot of trouble figuring out what I wanted to do for this coaster station. And when I was done, I really wasn't happy with the result at all. So I started over and left the queue lines and the columns that I used from the first try. Also, I made some floor and wall pieces that I now can use and copy over to make it all go a little bit faster. Like you can see here, just lighting it all up carefully to avoid texture glitches as much as I can and to make it all fit, because if you don't line it up right, you can run into some issues later on. As you can see here, I'm using my favorite objects again, the doors. And I really wanted to expand a little bit more in the style of the house right across from this structure over here. Yeah, I think it looks great in the end, and it's not going to be finished in this episode. I finished the detailing in the next episode as well as working on the coaster. So the idea for this structure was to make it a hotel, but since we don't have anything for the interior, I really wasn't sure on how to do this. Because next to the fact of building a bigger structure where a coaster will fit in, I had no clue on how to make this look like a hotel. So the least I could do is just make a building that looks good in this area and see how it works out. But yeah, with these pre-made pieces, I'm really starting to feel like I'm more puzzling than building, and it really feels like a puzzle now and just getting the pieces in the right places and make everything fit. But yeah, I am getting to the point. I have to say that the inspiration is really starting to run a little bit low. It's getting harder to come up with new things, and mainly in this style. I do still have a few ideas, of course. It's not like I don't know what I'm doing anymore at this point, but it's just getting harder and harder. Alpha 3 is coming very soon though, and the only thing I'm starting to wonder about is will this park still work? If you guys know the answer to that, please let me know, because I want to continue on with this park, but I do feel like if this is something I have to finish up soon, I should know about that. But I can't seem to figure out if the save files will be fine, or since we will transfer over to Steam, which is something that I really like, I think it's a great thing. I really like Steam, and also I feel like a lot of games have their own launchers, or a lot of studios have their own launchers these days, and it's just getting to a point that it's like, do I really need to have 6 launchers on my computer just to play one game from that studio? And it's not like I'm interested in playing Elite Dangerous or anything. Not it's not a great game, but I'm really more into No Man's Sky lately. I've been playing that a lot, but that game is so addicting to me, and it's getting to a point that I'm like, no, you have to play Planet Coaster now. But yeah, I do feel like I should know about if I will be able to continue on with this park with Alpha 3. And no matter how excited I am about the next phase of this game, I do wonder about what will happen to this park. And yeah, please let me know if you guys know more than I do about if I will be able to continue on with this park, because I'm really just satisfied with where I'm going with this. And even though I feel like there should be more objects, and there should be more stuff in the pirate theme, and there should be more wall types and patterns and colors and things like that, things that all will come eventually, of course. But I'm making this park right now, so of course I'm thinking about how I can fill up this park right now. And yeah, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for Alpha 3? I can only imagine you guys are, and I know they will be on Gamescom and doing some live streams. I think 3 live streams this Thursday, and oh, that's the same day I will be uploading this episode. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what we will get next. And I've seen some of the concept art they've been posting on Twitter of the spooky trees, and we saw a witch's house or something like that. We also saw a while ago some of the fantasy theme concept art. Yeah, I'm pretty excited of what we can do with that, and when we will get that, or we will get some other stuff first for the alpha. But yeah, I'm really excited about Gamescom in general, so I will be watching that in the coming few days. So I started working on the second level here, adding some roofs and then some more fences. And at some point I realized at the end of this, I think, that the fences were placed a little bit too low, so I had to change that. Yeah, that is right here. Yeah. So I had to change that and do it again, but it's not that much work, so it doesn't really matter. Still, I felt like I should finish this downstairs area with the fences, and then I saw at this point that it would be kind of cool if I would place a second row of fences right below it, and it did. So yeah, I added those, and it does look kind of cool. It gives it just a little bit more detail and a little bit more texture, and it fills it up a little bit, so that looks pretty nice. I should do that for the upstairs area as well. So with placing these walls over here, you can see I used a new tool with X, but at some point, I think it was here, I also realized that if you would hold shift for a little bit and move it down a little bit, not even to the point where it goes down, but just move it down or up a little bit, you can actually place it without it just trying to find a height to place it on, like here. So at that point I could just place it way faster, these walls, and it was actually pretty nice. So I think for the most part it's all in a straight line. So I do run into some trouble on the right side of this building a little bit later on, and have to adjust a few little pieces, but it was no big deal, it was manageable. And now just copied over a roof that I made earlier for a house, and it's actually pretty nice when making these custom pieces that you can just use the same ones for a few other buildings as well, and it really makes it look like it's all part of one village or town or whatever. So even though it won't look like a hotel from the inside, it could be a hotel from the outside, and it's not like there's a lot of rules for how a hotel should look on the outside, so it just depends on the style in the village, and since it's all fantasy anyway, it doesn't really matter, and it's just a fun thing to walk out of the village and see a coaster station in front of you in a building that maybe one day in the past was a hotel. But yeah, I'm especially fond of the backside of this building in the end because it will be wide and open with columns and it looks pretty cool. So I'm actually really excited to start working on this coaster because we have a ton of space moving over the water and stuff. And we can even move through the cave. And I did have some plans for maybe something like a mine coaster inside of the cave as well. But we'll have to see if the park is still functioning in a week and if I can still do that. And if not, I could always close that part off like it's not there at all and just have the cave there for the coaster to go through. This is gonna be a pretty big coaster, so it's gonna look great. So yeah, have fun watching the rest of this episode, and I will be back in the next one, finishing off with the details and starting to work on the coaster probably. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.